We have an update on a WWE Champion amid their sudden absence. Plus, Karrion Kross has responded to those SmackDown chants last night, and TNA accidentally spoil world title plans. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. So Naomi has been conspicuous by her absence from WWE TV this week. She was set to face Io Sky on Monday night's Raw and was not medically cleared to compete. Haven't heard on socials from Naomi at all. It's all very quiet. That situation has changed somewhat this morning, hasn't it, Fraser?
A little bit, because Natalya has given us a slight update on her thoughts on the situation. Plus, WWE has announced that Naomi will be on Raw this coming Monday to address the ongoing situation. Now, obviously, as Tom mentioned there's an ongoing silence, and I referred to Natalya speaking on Busted Open Radio yesterday saying, especially for the locker room, somebody will know what's going on. But in this situation, Naomi is a really close friend of mine, but I just feel like it's a time right now where she needs space. So usually when something crazy is going on, I don't think it's a crazy in a bad way, but I think that it's private. It's personal. Nobody ever wants to go down with an injury. Knowing how hard Naomi has fought to get in this spot that she's in, she's at the top of the division. She continues by saying, as far as I know, the last time we talked, she's like, I know what I have and I'm so grateful for it. I can't believe all that this is happening. But I feel like she's so beyond grateful for it. I feel like she will talk about it when she's ready to talk about it. But I know she would have loved to have faced Io on Monday. So no clarification on what it is. Obviously, she's keeping it very close to the chest. She wants it to be a thing that Naomi speaks about when she's ready. And it looks like we're going to get that this Monday. Yeah, and the mention there of like nobody likes to go down with an injury might be related to that. I guess, you know what? We'll see what happens Monday. We're going to hear from her on Monday Night Raw, where she'll address the situation heading into a clash in Paris, where she is set to defend the Women's World title against Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah, and obviously as the past week has gone on and speculation has been rife online, it may be a case of when we get to Clash in Paris, Naomi isn't in that match. Maybe she will be pulled from it, and we will see. We'll have to come up with an alternative plan as to who's in that match, whether it's Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky or Natalya, Bloodsport Natty. Bring Bloodsport Natty to the main roster and do that. Either way, hopefully all is well with Naomi, and hopefully this Monday we'll get an update on that situation. Last night on SmackDown, we saw a member of the Raw roster switch sides as Sami Zayn confronted the MFT and announced that he was now gunning for Solo Sikoa's US Championship. This led to a 3-on-1 beatdown saved by Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso, leading to a 6-man tag, and it begins the pursuit of Sami Zayn for Solo Sikoa's US title. I don't think we're getting a draft this year, Fraser Porter. I don't think so either. It feels like we're just getting folk just moved shows just willy-nilly, which honestly I don't hate. The brand split comes and goes. It's got peaks and troughs, and right now it's in a definite trough because it's like they just go, yeah, you're now a SmackDown guy, or you're now a Raw guy, or you've won this title, you're now on that show. Sami Zayn going over to SmackDown though, I think adds a much needed star power to the blue brand, especially with the fact that the 2-hour shows have been slightly weak compared to even when they were on 3 hours. Yeah, very much so. And you've kind of got like your top stars, obviously Cody and Cena, and you've got Drew in there, and then and Orton, and then you've got nothing really. You've kind of got just this accumulation of just people that just wrestle in and out of each other, and arguably a better tag division, but then but there seems to be something missing in there, and I think Sami Zayn's a really nice component of that. Sami Zayn is definitely the missing piece. I hope that he wins that US title. Solo, although, has been very entertaining with his more relaxed character and less trying to be Roman Reigns and just embracing his goofy side. I really hope Sami gets a US title win. But also at the same time, I kind of hope Sami goes to the main event level. I don't want to see him in the mid-card. I want Sami to win a world title. I don't think it's happening this year, though. I think Sami Zayn should win a world title. And he kind of said, I realized I was too focused on that, and I should be, I should go after something different. I'm going after the US title. So that was kind of addressed. The draft situation is an elephant in the room that wasn't addressed, as was the chance of "We Want Kross" that echoed during that segment. There was no calls for Karrion Kross on Raw this past Monday. And couple signs. Couple of signs. Front row, people were picking up on no chance. Nothing big. The chance. They were expecting big chance on Raw, and they didn't quite come. But they arrived last night in earnest, and there were "We Want Kross" chants during that segment that opened SmackDown. Karrion Kross responded by saying,
I hear you. And and then this is all coming. Just what a weird old week it has been for Karrion Kross. Weird old month, weird old year for Karrion Kross, who has very much taken matters into his own hands in terms of how he's promoted himself and presented himself. And it feels like it's upset some of the higher ups.
Anytime someone in WWE gets over of their own accord, that never goes well for them. It seems to be like a pattern over the past 20 years. If you get over without the machine behind you, you're not getting a big push. The Observer, though, commenting on the Karrion Kross situation about whether it is a work or a shoot, because that seems to be the big question. Is it real? Is it not? Is it real but they're turning it into a work? Was it a work that's now real? Like, there's so many different layers.
Worked ourselves into a shoot, brother. Or he was right all along.
Or if we shoot ourselves into a work, we don't know. But the Observer is saying that those high up have said that they legitimately don't know if it's a work or a shoot. That's how small the net around this is. So those high up in WWE aren't sure whether they're being worked or not. Continues saying, but that they do expect either way the end result is that they'll both be brought back, as in Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and that the result would be the same. One person involved in independent wrestling, though, brought up that they're charging a very high price tag, and after the conversation with them said that they weren't buying any of it.
Ooh.
So maybe it's a case of Karrion Kross they've legitimately released him from this contract, right? He's not with WWE right now. That seems fairly clear based on the fact that he was like, I was offered something and they rescinded it. Maybe he's going, well, I'm going to charge too much, and that's part of the work, so that WWE just brings him back. I don't know. There's so many
hear of quite a few guys who leave WWE who then go on to the indies, and I have heard from several indie promoters that there's a fair few talent over the years that have left WWE and the price tag is too damn high. And they've had to go elsewhere, and then the natural order of things is that either their value increases in terms of their presence and it makes it more worthwhile, or their value decreases in that they slash their prices. That's the way that it works in the UK scene. So interestingly, so now even the fact that his price is so high is being used as a possible.
I mean, it could just be he's like, I'm going to charge a really, really high price so I don't actually have to work because I can't work because I'm under contract. There's so many different layers, and I don't like it, but it's quite cool. But I don't like the fact that they've taken a legitimate situation with R-Truth where he was genuinely released from his contract. They turned it into a work, and now they're doing the exact same thing with Karrion Kross.
You don't like it?
No, because eventually they're going to do a big announcement that is like all the future endeavors, like so-and-so's been released and one of them's going to be fake. And one of them will be, and then they'll work, because they know they like working.
If that's what they're doing.
If it's what they're doing.
If you don't like it, right, you're not going to like this, right? This is Karrion Kross's new book, Life is Fighting. It's available now. Karrion Kross is on Cultaholic next week to have a chat about it. So we'll see. Either we are part of the machine.
Maybe we're fueling the machine.
We are part of that system. But Karrion Kross is going to be on Cultaholic next week. I'm going to have a lovely chat with him next week, and we'll talk about the book, and I don't know, maybe some other stuff.
Perhaps, maybe
his love of Monopoly.
He does love a bit of Monopoly.
TNA have presented Emergence last night, and as one show was emerging, one star was stepping away.
Yes, Sammy Callahan lost his street fight to Mike Santana on last night's show, and as a result, obviously, from the conditions off the match, he's now retired from wrestling.
End of an era that was. As Sammy leaves his boots in the ring and heads to the back, where he's greeted by the locker room clapping and applauding him. But interestingly, Eric Young was one that stepped up to Sammy Callahan and said, "Don't believe what these guys are doing. They are phonies. They weren't here to support you." Joe Hendry stepped in to calm Eric Young down, and it seems to be splintering off into more stuff with Joe Hendry and Eric Young. And whether or not this will lead to Sammy Callahan coming back, because it feels like Sammy's legitimately stepping away. He said so much on socials. But you know what? We live in a time where everybody is trying to work, as Fraser Porter.
Everyone's trying to work. You can't have a work without a bit of shoot in it. That seems to be the thing right now. Maybe it is a genuine retirement. Maybe it's not. We will see by tuning into the next set of TNA Impact tapings.
Now, those tapings are taking place last night, which you would know if you watched Emergence. So a little bit of TNA in here, and I love them for this. So when Emergence went off air last night after Trick Williams retained his TNA World title against Moose, the video feed stopped, but the audio feed stayed on. And we heard Santina Marella come out and address the fact that we have 2 nights of TNA Impact tapings tomorrow in this building. And we have a big announcement for you, Tricky Willie, Trick Williams. So you better be here for that big announcement for next week. So from that, we know that they're taping. If you had tickets, you already knew that. But Trick Williams is going to be involved, and there's some big world title plans being announced on the next episode of Impact.
Yeah, so they've just... It's a shame that TNA's done a TNA. Really.
It's what it is.
Obviously, production errors, they happen. But yeah, it's a shame that it's literally the end of the pay-per-view and you can still hear the pay-per-view going on. That's how it goes. We've had one production error there. Our lights just fall. How is the ghost of TNA coming to get us there?
Hey, look. One man's trash is another man's Botchamania outro. You know, for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.